If we all had the time, all of us, young and old, could tell about some overwhelming trial or difficulty that we have gone through in the past or maybe going through in the present. Perhaps it was a situation that has made you feel hopeless. You feel like there's just no way to go on. The obstacles are too great to overcome. So might as well not even try. And if that's you today, if you're listening, then listen up, because this message is for you. It's never too late to start over. Hi, I'm John Kuert, the pastor at Alpha Assembly in Clarion, Pennsylvania, bringing to you another heart-to-heart talk. These messages are from my heart to yours, and I hope they're a blessing and an encouragement to you in your spiritual journey. Well, as bad as any of us have ever had tragic losses or severe difficulties, there's very, very few of us who have ever had or ever will go through trials and tribulations as devastating and traumatic as Job of old. You know, Job is the oldest book in the Bible, and it's a great book. You know, it tells of the devastation that Job went through in the first couple of chapters. He lost all of his children. He lost everything that he owned. He lost his health. According to psychologists who have numerical values for various stress-producing situations, the stress level that Job was experiencing was off the charts. And to boot, his friends were pointing fingers at him and that God was punishing him because he had sinned, and his wife was saying, "Curse God and die." And Job got to a point when he just cried out, and he said, my days have passed, my plans are all shattered, and so are the desires of my heart. But he didn't stop there. He may have felt like that momentarily, but he didn't stop there. And we know that in the end of the book, if you turn to the last chapter, the Lord made him prosperous again and gave him twice as much as he had before. The Lord blessed the latter part of Job's life more than the first, the Bible says. Now, a man who went through fiery trials that he did and kept his faith and trust in God so that his latter end was better than his beginning, surely he has something to say to us as we go through our battles in life. So how did it happen? Did God just drop all this blessing out of heaven? No. It was because, first of all, Job trusted tenaciously. What did he say? It's the famous quote, though God slay me, yet I will trust him. He hung in there by trusting God. Secondly, he turned a deaf ear to the negative voices around him and within him. There'll always be people that are pointing their brutal fingers at you and saying, you must have done something wrong. Or sometimes it's the voices within us that we just can't seem to quiet. And they're negative voices that we hear again and again and again in our minds. Well, he turned a deaf ear to those negative voices around him and within him. And thirdly, he talked to God and himself. He said, I desire to speak to the Almighty. And he said, I know that you can do all things, and no plan of yours can be thwarted. And finally, he tapped into his God-given human abilities and spiritual gifts, and he took action. He used his brain, he used his will, he used his physical strength, he used his gifts. And Job is an ancient example for us in this modern day of overcoming tragedy. And we can do it too. There's a great story of Thomas Edison. He had all of these experiments, and all of a sudden everything that he had was burned up. His whole building, all of his notes, all of his experiments, all were lost. And Edison said, although I'm 67, I'll start over again tomorrow. And he did. And a lot of the more important discoveries that he made came after that. And so he, just followed through, and just like Job of old, he started over, and it's never too late to start over. And you know what? No matter what we're going through, whether it's a physical affliction or an emotional struggle or a financial difficulty or a spiritual battle, you know what? Or it might even have to do with relationships. It's never too late to trust God and to say, I will start over again. And God always is in the business of giving us new beginnings, new beginnings. So if you need that today, if you need this message today, just be encouraged. There's nothing too difficult for God. And you have within you the power to trust God and to dig down deep and press on. And if we do that, we're gonna overcome the battles, and we're going to win greater victories in the future. Well, thanks for joining me once again for another Heart to Heart Talk. I'm John Kuert again. I'm pastor at Alpha Assembly in Clarion, Pennsylvania, and we would love to have you join us sometime, some Sunday. God bless you. In the meantime, have a great day, have a great week, and God bless you. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.